interesting. Yeah.
You said this morning what we've been doing for the past year.
Yes. Okay.
Well, David, it's nice to be back in Hong Kong again. Have you been very busy during the past year since the last time I saw you?
Well, yes, it's always nice to make the annual visit to this cracking event, the Hong Kong International Classic. And a lot of water's gone under the bridge since last year. We've had a lot of good bowls in the United Kingdom. I've been to other parts of the world as well. But a highlight of my calendar is coming here to Hong Kong. It's like coming home.
How many years have you been coming now, David?
Around about 20. The first time I came here was in 1996, the year before the handover. And I've been here virtually every year since. And for you, Jim, it is actually coming home
well,
because you lived so
really?
many years here.
I was here for 22 years, from 82 right through until 2000 odd. And of course, for me, it is like coming home. And dare I say, it's the same old faces, the same people, the friendliness is unbelievable.
Yes, that's the hallmark of this competition. It's not just a cutthroat international standard competition, which it is, but it's also a very friendly competition. There's a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of just sitting together in the lounge, talking about bowls, and maybe the occasional drink being taken.
One or two. Well, here we're at Craigengar Cricket Club, which is an old established club here on Hong Kong Island, and we're here to the first game we're covering is the ladies' singles final between Dorothy Yu, who won it last year, and a new face for me, David, a girl from Malaysia.
Yes, Zuraini. Zuraini. She's 29 and she's been playing bowls now for about 10 years. And she's a silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games. So Dorothy Yu is going to have her work cut out to beat her. Dorothy has to be complimented on reaching the final in her title defence. Not many people who win it one year reach the final the next year, I have to tell you that. So she's breaking new ground, is Dorothy Yu. I was very impressed with her last year when she won it.
Yes, we were, David, and of course they've started now. Dorothy's bowling with the white coloured bowls, and the Malaysian girls got the dark coloured bowls. So it should be easy to identify for you and me who's the shot, who's winning.
Both bowlers with immaculate deliveries. The concentration is 100%. The bowl going away in a straight line, and the bowlers stay on the mat, gazing at it as it goes. No extra movement, and that really is the stamp of the Malaysian delivery, taught by the Australians, the Malaysians, and they are really very methodical players.
A little bit heavy with that second ball.
Early days yet, of course, the first end, so they are searching for line and length. Those are the two commodities in bowls. You roll the ball in the right direction at the right speed and you finish on top of the jack. But not this time for Dorothy Yu.
Significant, David, they're both playing the forehand coming down this way.
Both of them have picked out the forehand in this direction on their trial ends. That's a lovely bowl from Zuraini, working in off the Dorothy Yu bowl, settling his shot position, and it's just one shot to the Malaysian at the moment.
And Dorothy with her last ball, see what she can do. She's trying to draw.
Sticking to that forehand. There's nothing in the way. She's looking good. Has she got the running to do it? What a great effort. Came in for second. So Zuraini with the last bowl of the first end already holding shot. She can draw another one for two, or she can trail the jack and possibly make three shots here.
She certainly wasn't intending being short.
Well, that was the intention, I think, to trail the jack gently, but she was a little bit overweight, sailed by, no harm done. She takes the shot, is first blood to Malaysia.
That seems to be a new uniform that the Malaysian girls wearing. David, is it? You've seen it before?
Well, the game of bowls has undergone such a transformation over the last 20 years. If we turn the clock back 20 years, everyone would be out there wearing white. And an old friend of mine would come out from the bar and say, which is the team playing in white? And of course everybody was playing in white, just like cricket really. But like cricket, it's gone through a change, and everybody wears coloured tops these days. And you're right, the official Malaysian shirt is a new one on me.
Yeah, it's been yellow in the past, hasn't it? And have a look at the shoes as well. I mean, very fancy shoes nowadays. Push my old white ones in the shade.
I'm not sure if the shoes are part of the regulation uniform. I don't think all the Malaysians will be wearing them, but they're very attractive. It makes the sport of bowls much trendier than it used to be in those old days that you and I remember so well.
Only too well.
Yes, if we turn the clock back 20 years, not only has the colour of the shirts changed, but the colour of the bowls have changed as well. In the old days, they were all black or brown, and these days, any colour will do. You even see white bowls and pink bowls. They started making some transparent bowls a couple of years ago.
I certainly have not seen that.
They never actually took on, or took off. Interesting here, Jim, that they've decided to bowl the forehand in this direction as well. It's more traditional for players to choose the forehand in one direction and play the backhand the other way, because they're playing on the same side of the rink. But here we've got them going forehand round the clock, as it were.
Seems to be a lovely draw in that forehand, going down towards the football club end. Just got to struggle a bit with the weight. Early doors.
2 shots to Malaysia at the moment, simply because Dorothy Yu failed to reach with her first 2 deliveries. Another attempt there from Zuraini to trail the jack, just missed it fractionally. It could be holding 3 shots. The pressure is on for Dorothy Yu. Sticking with the forehand though. She's not short this time.
She's knocked her own ball in.
Is it close enough?
I think it still lies 3. The Malaysian girl still lies 3, I think. I noticed the umpire Roger Black's had a word with the Malaysian girl regarding possession of the rink. If you noticed, after her third ball, she followed it halfway up the green and then wandered off the rink. And Rogers rightly told her that it's against the laws of the game. Regardless of that, she's got another shot in the head, David.
Yes, you shouldn't be caught between mat and jack when the opponent is on the mat ready to bowl. It's a matter of courtesy more than anything else, but it is written into the laws of the game.
I'm assuming that Roger Black has warned her, and what's going to happen next if she continues? He'll be picking up her ball.
A brave effort there, but running through on the part of Dorothy Yu. She's very disappointed with that. She shakes her head. 3 short bowls followed by 1 which trickled through. So it's a big count here for Zuraini. How many has she scored?
She's scored 3, I think.
I think it's 4. It's a full house. So it moves Zuraini, the Malaysian, onto 5. Dorothy Yu, the holder of this title, is yet to score.
playing sets in this game, are we, David? We're still, it's not first to 21 this time, is it?
Well, that's right. Each set is of 9 ends, and they play the best of 2 sets. Now, you may well say, best of 2 sets, what happens if it's 1 set all? Well, then it's tie-break territory, and they play a 3-end tie-break, where all shots count. There's another form of the game where in the tie-breaks, only the ends count. So you win a tie-break by 2 ends to 0 or by 2 ends to 1. But here on the tie-breaks, all shots count. So it's a rather interesting variation.
Zereni sticking with his forehand coming down towards us, David, again.
Well, she's certainly played the better length so far in this game. She's found the distance, found her range very, very well. Every bowl in this match so far played on the forehand.
I think Dorothy's struggling a little bit with the weight at the moment.
Well, that's near enough to count, but she would have hoped to be a bit closer than that. The line was perfect.
Now here's the first ball in the backhand. We'll see how this one goes.
The backhand, we believe, swings a bit more, and there's the bowl starting to bend now. But her main problem, of course, Jim, is she's not up, not reaching. She's got a weight problem.
Struggling with weight. Well, we're looking at another full house here, David. The umpire, the markers just signalled 3. It's obviously 3. Dorothy's given this a bit more green.
Well, you'd certainly expect Dorothy to be closer with this one, and she is. This time she's got to stop. Yes, that's the shot. She's just saved 3 shots and holds 1. The danger of dropping another full house is not there anymore. Here's Zoreni, her final delivery of the end. I'm slightly surprised that she's not having a go at this. But she's drawn the shot.
Drawn the shot.
Yes, full marks to her for that. Beautifully drawn shot. I thought she might have gone for the shot bowl to set up a count of 4. Dorothy, the last bowl of the end. She trails by 5 shots to 0 after 2 ends. She's well played, but I'm afraid that's not quite close enough. She's got 2 seconds now, but it's the Malaysian, Zoreni Khalid, who has the shot and moves into a 6-0 lead. That's a comfortable lead, Jim.
Very comfortable at this stage of the game, David. When you were talking to Zoreni earlier on there, is she a full-time bowler in Malaysia?
Well, yes, she is. I mean, they take bowls very, very seriously in Malaysia. They haven't played bowls for all that long, to be honest. I remember they hosted the Commonwealth Games in 1998 and suddenly realised there was a sport called lawn bowls. Laid greens in centres of excellence all through the country and taught beginners to play bowls. And if they showed promise, they took them off their day job and turned them into full-time professional bowlers. And
I remember 2 or 3 years ago now, talking to the Malaysian team. There were policemen, there were bankers, taking out the government system and just, as you say, played bowls for a living. Sponsored by the government.
Yes, and to be fair, it wasn't just taking anybody off the street. They would have sessions of practice and training, and they'd pick out the best to concentrate on.
They've been very successful in Southeast Asia. I don't know about the rest of the world. Are they high up in the rankings in world bowls?
Well, yes. I mean, oddly enough, they haven't won a lot in terms of world championships. Although Safwan Saeed, one of their best players,
Yes,
did win the men's world championship in 2008.
I remember him. Yeah.
But their best player, the most successful player so far, has probably been Siti Zita Ahmad.
Very,
Let me
yes.
get this right.
Very difficult.
It's Siti Zelina Ahmad, and at the age of 21, she won the Commonwealth Games singles, and she successfully defended that title 4 years later. She is probably the biggest name in Malaysian bowls, and Zoraini here showing consistency, good length again. Didn't quite come back to the jack. Surprised about that because it seemed to be bending quite well on that hand. Dorothy Yu has it all to do.
She's struggling line and length here.
Yeah, she started off struggling with length, and now she's even struggling with line. She's spraying them all over the place at the moment. I'm sure she will get to grips with it before long, but possibly not in time to save this first set. Well played, Zoraini.
I spent yesterday marking the singles ties, both the men and the women, and Dorothy was, for want of a better word, she was on fire. You know, it was unbelievable, their drawing skills. But today something's gone wrong, or certainly this afternoon.
Try and wait at this time, try to knock them out. He's well off target, it goes through into the ditch. That will be very costly. 4. It's a 4 for Zoraini, a full house surely. It's definitely 3. They're looking for the 4th, and I'm pretty sure it's in. It's not really up to the Malaysian or for the marker to say. It's up to the conceding player to concede the shots. And if there's any doubt, they bring on the umpire to conduct a measure. This is 1, 2, 3 conceded by Dorothy. Is she going to give the 4th without a measure? She's entitled to call for the umpire, Roger Black, to adjudicate.
Well, she wants a measure.
She's called for a measure. So in fact, it's not Roger Black coming on at that end. He's officiating at the other end of the green. But I'm sure these markers, these officials, are fully qualified to do the job. Very well trained officials. They know exactly what to do, and it looks fairly clear to us that it's the brown bowl that wins the measure. So that would be 4 shots to the Malaysia. The second time in this match that she's scored a full house. And that puts her into double figures after just 4 ends, 10-0.
And we've not played, how many? 4 ends, is it? I can see Dorothy conceding this if she doesn't do a bit better. When I say concede the first set.
Well, in theory, of course, if one player can go 10-0 up in 4 ends, the other player has 5 ends left to repair the damage, and so time is on her side, but 10 shots is a big ask. It's a mountain to climb. Both players concentrating on the forehand. That's a better bowl from Dorothy. She's still a yard short, but it's just near enough to count. That's the one. Can it run it? It looks as if it's shot. That's the one from...
This is more like the way she was
Yeah.
playing early on.
She's working at her game now, and it's beginning to come together. Great effort from the Malaysian. We're not sure who's got the shot at the moment. Dorothy Yu asking for advice from the marker. He says it's 1 to Dorothy. The bowl in front of the jack is the shot. She'll be quite relieved to hear that and perseveres on the forehand. Building up nicely here. Can it stop? Can it stop? Can it stop? Well, I don't think it... Well, has it stopped in time?
He's having the marker's having a look. One and a measure he signalled.
Well, I think this is the first time that we've seen Zuraini, the Malaysian, miss her line. Perfect weight, but she finished narrow there and out of the count. That's no change to the head. It's still 1 and a measure. So Dorothy Yu poised to make her first entry on the scorecard. She's playing the forehand yet again. This needs to stop. That's got a chance too. Yes, if she can score 3 on this end, then that will fill her with confidence, and she might even be back in the game. 1 conceded.
One conceded and asking for a measure on the other ones.
That last bowl of Dorothy Yu didn't count, it just went inches too far, so it's a straight measure for second. We think it's 2. Well,
is it 2?
We're not absolutely certain, but we think it's 2.
He's signalling 1.
Yes,
signaling
just the 1. Now, in the UK, when you measure, and whichever one wins the measure, you push out as an indication. But there was no pushing out there.
Here they don't, David, for some reason. Being an umpire myself, it's one of the things that I normally do, but in Hong Kong, they don't do it the way we do it in other parts of the world.
Well, apart from anything else, if you do actually push the bowl out, it's an indication to players and spectators, and it's quite clear what the decision has been made. But Dorothy Yu...
That's the way I look at it.
Yes, I'm sure that's correct. Dorothy Yu, a single on the card. She changes her hand, tries to backhand in this direction this time. Still not finding the line. And the Malaysian becoming more and more consistent as the game goes on. The writing seems to be on the wall. I think the first set has probably gone.
I would agree.
But the quality of the sets game is that you can lose the first set, and it doesn't really matter whether you lose it 7-6 or 15-0. The end result is you're just 1-0 down. All you've got to do is to win the second set and you're right back in it.
I marked a men's singles game yesterday, and the first set, the shot score was 15-0. The opponent conceded after 5 ends, And we went on to the second set, and the chap won it, and he also won the tie-break. So
yes.
hammered in the first set, and came back to win the second and the tie-break. His comment to me was, just as well we were not playing 21 up.
Yes. Yes, that's the advantage and the disadvantage of the sets play. To the player who loses the first set, it's a big advantage to be able to just win the next set and the tie-break, and you're through to the next round.
Do you favour this tie-break system, David? You rather see the traditional first to 21?
Well, as a journalist and broadcaster, I like the idea of the tie-break because it's dramatic and exciting, and it's good for spectators, and everybody seems to love it. As a former player, I hate it because it is so cruel.
Yes.
The man you were talking about, who won the first set 15-0 and then went on to lose the game, you've got to feel sorry for him. Was justice done? Well, yes, it was. The game was won by right, by the laws of the game and by the rule of the competition. But the rules of the competition need looking at. Are they fair?
Is it more for television, David, you think, than?
Well, yes. I think to have two short games, in other words, two sets, is probably better for the attention span than one game of 21 up, which does tend to go on forever.
And also here, of course, in the singles, we're respotting the jack in the event of a burned end, and we're still doing that for the final.
Well, I assume that they are. We haven't seen that yet, but whether we'll have a burnt end, these are two drawing players, and we haven't seen them firing yet. There's one shot there to the Malaysian, Zuraini. She moves further ahead, and she's now really got this first set well and truly in the bag. She's 6 ends gone. She leads 11-1.
Yeah, just to clarify the burned ends, what we talk about in the burned end, if the jack goes out of play. In this game, the jack is respotted on the centre line, 2 metres from the ditch. And I've seen other ones, David, where the jack is respotted to the right and left of the centre line. Mainly on television, I think it's Potters, is it? The one.
That's right. The World Bowls Tour tend to use that method, and the World Bowls Tour as well. In tie breaks, use the ends only count. So it's you win a tie break 2-0 or 2-1. Whereas the World Bowls Limited, who run the game of bowls worldwide, they use the other method of all shots count on a tie break. You've got to know which organisation is running the event you're covering. It takes a bit of.
Must be difficult for you at times then.
Well, yes. Oh, this is a good bowl. Dorothy Yu, she realises the first set has gone, realistically, 11-1 down. She's not going to win this set, but she's got time of this end and maybe on the next end if it goes that far. She's got time to actually see if she can find her touch and prepare for the second set. So that's what she's doing now. Very economical deliveries, both of these players. No wasted movement. Beautiful, smooth roll of the ball. She just overgreened that slightly, and it just didn't want to bend. Good weight. She's working at her game, and it's coming together now. Oh, what a brilliant delivery there. Earns applause from the crowd here at the Craigengower Cricket Club for this final of the Hong Kong International Women's Singles. Dorothy Yu trying a bit of force with this, misses a line, it goes through, that's a wasted bowl. It'll finish in the ditch, lifted up, put on the bank. That would play no further part in this end. So the Malaysian, very relaxed, playing the game at a very quiet pace, but showing flashes of brilliance as she trailed the jack with that last delivery. This time it's much easier. She's just trying to draw another one. All she's got to do is to miss that front bowl. Oh, she's decided to play a bit of insurance here and put one round the back. Is it going too far? No, it's stopping
still
on the
green.
edge of the green. That was her decision, to go for position rather than to draw another one, and achieved it to perfection.
I think if she drops a 4 this time, or a 3 definitely, it might be time to say, I'll concede the first set.
Well, yes, I think in fact if she drops 3 this end, Dorothy, then she will have to concede it, because there won't be enough ends left for her to close the gap. She's still trying a shade of weight. She's better this time, but she's sailing by on the wide side. It's 3 shots to the Malaysian Zuraini, who goes 14-1 up after 7 ends. She can't be caught, so we're into the second set.
First set to Malaysia.
Yes, Dorothy, you there, indicating that she is fully aware that that's the first set over. And I think in some ways she may be quite relieved about that.
I would think so.
And it's a fresh start for her. And I'm sure she'll come out fighting in the second set. I have a theory, Jim, about the sets game. And it's called second set syndrome. It's where the winner of the first set relaxes a little and says, well, I've got that in the bag, I've definitely got a tie break, even if I lose the second set, and they become slightly complacent. Whereas the player who has lost the first set digs in his or her heels and says, well, this is one I've got to win. So the second set is quite often quite different from the first.
That's certainly what happened yesterday in that game that I was telling you about.
So the sports psychologist should come up with an answer to second set syndrome, I suppose. And
this is better. This is better from
yes,
Dorothy.
That's right. That's right. The sports psychologist should tell the player who's won the first set, try and persuade yourself that you've actually lost the set, and you've got to come out fighting.
Of course, Dorothy Yu is not a full-time bowler, David. I think she's got a job in a bank, quite a senior position in one of the banks here. So her time in the green will be very restricted. We don't have the same system in Hong Kong like they do in Malaysia, where you become a full-time bowler. That's 2 lovely shots.
And the home crowd beginning to warm to their champion here, Dorothy Yu, outclassed in the first set. She's going to put up a fight of it in the second. A bit of weight here from the Malaysian. Well, she's a drawing player. She's shown beautiful drawing skills. Weighted deliveries like that are a different kettle of fish. Well off target.
A bit insurance, to use one of your expressions, David. She's put one round the back.
Well, absolutely, yes. I mean, she's holding 2 shots, Dorothy. That's a very well placed back bowl. Closer this time, the Malaysian. Unlucky. Made contact with one of the shot bowls, but the angle was all wrong. It's still 2 to Dorothy Yu.
And the ideal opportunity to get a 3 with 1 ball left.
She's still got to get within a foot. But she's done it. She's in there. Now that's the way she was playing last year when she won the title. And that's the way she's been playing on the way to the final, Jim. But that first set was an aberration as far as...
probably
Dorothy.
nerves come into it as
Yes.
well. They're the hometown favourite. A lot expected.
The winner of the previous end delivers the jack, so is in charge of tactics to that extent. Pays to win an end. You get the length of your choice and you deliver the first bowl. The advantage to the other player, they have the last bowl of the end in question. Great response.
And it's more like the quality we expected, David.
Unlucky.
Very unlucky.
One to the Malaysian. Dorothy Yu asking for the position of the bowls at the head. It looks as if she may be changing her hand and bowling the backhand in this direction. The Krakengower Cricket Club right next to the main road, and the Hong Kong trams go by. People looking over their heads, wondering exactly what's going on that stretch of green grass.
Do you use the tram when you're here, David?
Oh, I do. I love it. I love it. There are all kinds of things about Hong Kong that I love. Going up to the peak, I love the trams. I love travelling on the Star Ferry. It's a magical place, and that's what the players tell me as well, the people you hear for the first time. Oh, now, what's happened there? Malaysia were holding shot, but I think Zuraini has pushed Dorothy Yu in maybe for shot bowl.
No, it's still Malaysia. The marker's signalling 1.
Yes, the Malaysian got away with that. One has to stress, of course, that it's only the opinion of the marker that Malaysia hold shot. Nobody can be sure until the measure is applied. Nothing to be short here. This is Zuraini Khalid coming up the forehand. She's a bit wide though. No harm done. applause drifting across, and the people who are level with it from the bank, they think that bowl is a bit closer than it actually was. So it will be one shot, one way or the other, and if the marker is right, it will be one to Malaysia. Yes, everyone agreed?
Everyone agreed. So in addition to your experiences in the transport system, David, I saw you yesterday with a glass of the local beer. Have you taken a liking to the local brew?
Well, the first time I tried Qingdao was when I came to Hong Kong, and I developed a liking for it, and I drink it at home all the time now.
Really?
It's available in the UK. All the Chinese restaurants have it, and even the supermarkets sell Qingdao these days, and it's my drink of choice.
I must admit, I haven't seen it in Spain yet.
You must have caught me off guard at an unguarded moment with a glass of that in my hand. That's a very unusual thing, Jim.
I think it was a moment of weakness, David. Or just the hospitality of the place.
Well, Zuraini's just experienced a moment of weakness. She's been playing so well, and she missed her line horribly there, finished way from the jack. That's a good opening delivery from Dorothy Yu. A yard through. Well, she doesn't need a second chance. She's in there. First time of asking. Very nicely done. Good bowling, but nothing yet nailing the jack. It's Dorothy Yu holding shot.
Certainly not the best end of bowls we've seen this week, David.
Well, it was Dorothy's turn to miss her line there, and on the forehand in this direction, which is quite a wide swinging hand, if you are narrow, you're punished for it. It's another one. There it goes. Good weight. Wasn't far off a line, but it was punished.
That's much better.
Yes, the knowledgeable crowd here recognised a good ball. They knew that was going to finish well. They started applauding when it was 3/4 of the way up the rink. And indeed it is 2 shots to Dorothy Yu, the holder of the title, making good headway in the second set. She leads 5-1 after 3 ends.
It's got all the makings of this second set syndrome you were talking about.
Well, it's classic.
Yes.
I won't say that it's entirely predictable. It doesn't always happen, but it happens more often than not, I would say. Dorothy Yu bowling as if her life depended on it now, and in fact the title does depend on it. She's got to win this set in order to force a tie break.
Well, it's certainly not the best of starts. That's 2 yards heavy.
Yes, good line, just the weight.
And that's not the best response.
Can she adjust? 2 yards heavy with her first. Well, that's pretty good. Couple of feet through. No adjustment whatsoever from the Malaysian, which is rather strange.
Very surprising.
Well, do you know, Jim, I think this rink might be speeding up. The pace of the green does change as the game goes on, with the warmth of the sun. One of the things about outdoor bowls is that you've got to be aware of any changes inflicted by climate or any other reason. It's a game of adjustment.
I think we've got to be honest, David, and say that it's a bit disappointing, the quality of some of the ends here. When I remember, when I looked at them yesterday and marked the ties yesterday, I mean, they were playing magnificently.
What did you say, Jim?
They were playing. I take it back.
Yes, a brilliant delivery there from Dorothy Yu. Her final delivery of the end.
Is that what they call the commentator's curse?
That's right. This is the Malaysian. She's after it. Can she? Oh, very close. But the shot remains with the home player, Dorothy Yu, representing the Hong Kong Lawn Bowling Association.
I noticed Zurini having a look at the scoreboard there. I hope she's not thinking about conceding the second set.
The shot then to Dorothy, who leads 6-1 after 4.
I'm just looking at the umpire here who was having a look, who's having a closer look. It's out of picture, but Roger Black, the umpire, is having a look at what's going on. Whether it's foot faulting or possession of the rink, I don't know. Dorothy Yu's certainly struggling a little bit. strange. The crowd are very quiet, David.
Well, they are. They're rising to the occasion when Dorothy bowls a good bowl in order to instill her with confidence. They're delighted that she's 6-1 up in the second set, but they were rather stunned in the first set when the Malaysian indulged in a bit of one-way traffic.
A little ripple of applause there. Obviously she's lying 2.
And perhaps quite wisely, Dorothy is going up to have a look at this at close quarters. She felt that her last bowl was good enough for shot, but she's now told she's 2 down.
Of course, this is one of the local rules, David. You're not allowed, the bowler's not allowed to visit the head until after she's bowled her third bowl.
Yes, various rules of that sort are being brought in to counter slow play, which is an occasional problem. Some players are just quicker than others, naturally. So, Dorothy Yu, forehand, trying to push her own in, and does exactly that. Perfect delivery. It was worth going up to have a look at to start with, to see what she had to do. Played it with a perfect weight, pushed her own bowl in. She's now holding shot. Just the one to Dorothy Yu, with 1 bowl left to play in this end, and that's from the Malaysian Zuraini Khalid.
When you talk about slow play, David, I marked Australia versus Scotland men yesterday. Nathan Pedersen and Ryan Burnett, and the game was over, including the tiebreak, in 35 minutes.
Those are naturally quick players, and this is a naturally quick bowl from Zuraini. She's got, she's absolutely spot on. I talked earlier on about her being a drawing player, and she's drawn for most of this match, but she shows there that she can fire very accurately, clipped the bowl out as clean as a whistle, and it's now 2 shots to the Malaysian. Game on.
That's a big swing, that one, David.
Well, yes, I mean, the shot to Dorothy Yu was worth a 7-1 lead, and the second set was as good as over. But the 2 shots to the Malaysian brings her back onto 3. Dorothy Yu stays on 6. There's only 3 shots in it now in this second set. It's worth remembering too, Jim, that all the Malaysia needs to do is to tie this set in order to win the match and to take the title away from Dorothy Yu.
That's true. And I understand there's prize money again this year for the winner, David. Is it the runner-up as well, obviously?
And for the semi-finalists, I think. Nobody has mentioned how much the prize money might be, but it'll be worth having, no doubt. The prize money is not on the minds of any of the players, I can assure you, at the moment. They're playing for pride
and an invite back next year.
Well, yes, that too.
It's an automatic invite back if you win the singles and the pairs.
Yes, I was just wondering whether the same applied to the runners-up, because
that I don't know.
No, because thinking in terms of Dorothy's position, if she were to finish runner-up this year, she's won it one year, runner-up the next, it'd be a bit hard to leave her out of the field next year.
Well, she could always represent her club. She plays for the Hong Kong Football Club, and they entered the pairs and the singles, but I think she'd have to win probably her club singles championship.
Yes, the Hong Kong Football Club, just across the road from the Craigengar Cricket Club here in Happy Valley. So whereas Zuraini Khalid has had to travel all the way from Kuala Lumpur, Dorothy Yu has just had to cross the road from HKFC to CCC. Bowls in Hong Kong is full of acronyms, full of initials. KCC, KBGC, IRC.
I was a member of HKCC. What would that be then?
Well, that's up the hill, I believe, isn't it? Not over the hill, but up the hill. That's the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
That's right. Yep.
They've got a rather interesting green there, I believe.
It's very interesting. It's very difficult to describe. You've got to see it to believe it. But the bowls green is in one corner of the cricket field. It was designed by one of the lads, an Australian lad actually. In the dark days when I was a member, the cricket finished and they dug up the ditches and you were playing bowls the following day. That's gone now, and there's now a permanent bowling green with special ditches that they cover and allow the cricket to be played. As I say, very difficult to describe it and very inventive.
While you were talking then, Jim, the Malaysian played a brilliant bowl, got the shot, but Dorothy Yu's bowl that had just gone out fell back in. And she's decided not to bowl the final delivery of the end. She'll take the shot.
That's why she's got a big smile on her face.
6 ends gone then in this second set. 9 ends is the stipulated length of the set, so there's 3 to go. And Dorothy Yu leads in the set by 7 shots to 3, having lost the first set 14-1. Keen to earn herself a tie break. Made that with very good weight, but missed her line.
Missed the line again.
Well, having missed her line on the backhand, she's decided to go on the forehand.
Still struggling a little bit, line and length.
Well, the Malaysian has given Dorothy Yu a great chance here. 2 short bowls from Zuraini. And Dorothy is probably holding 2 shots and a great chance to add a third.
The marker's having a look at it.
He says 2 shots. Nothing but a dead draw on for the Malaysian. Still short, and she'll be punished for this.
I can only think it must be a very tricky rink they're playing on.
That's a very good bowl. It counts and it covers. And the Malaysian Zuraini Khalid in real trouble here. Three and a measure.
It's a very important ball in this set.
Well, it was a very brave bowl too. I think she may have come in for second.
It's very difficult to see where we're sitting. Well, they've taken one out.
Two shots. So a very brave attempt with her last delivery to cut down on the count. But Zuraini has to settle for two down, and Dorothy Yu now in firm control of this set at 9-3 with just two ends left to play.
And we're looking at a tie break, David.
Yes, the Malaysians' only chance now of avoiding a tie-break is to score 2 threes to tie the set. And a tied set would be enough. She'd win the match and the title by 1.5 sets to a half. But all Dorothy Yu has to do is to keep ahead and get close. She mustn't drop 3 shots. Superb line with her opening delivery, a yard short. She'll need to improve on that. Zuraini taking her chances, slots one in. Well, that was understandable. She put a little bit more weight on. She knew she had to reach just a little bit too much weight and it sailed by. That's bowls for you. Bit of position there for Zuraini. Although I feel she shouldn't be looking for position at this stage. She's looking for shots. As many as she can.
I would agree with you. I mean, one at this stage of the game is no good.
And
particularly now that she's one down.
Yes, now it's one to Dorothy Yu. Beautifully played that. Very, very well judged. She learned from her previous delivery, took a shade of weight off, rested the bowl. Absolutely perfect. Well, there are 3 Malaysian bowls there that need covering. I think Dorothy Yu would be well advised to leave the jack now well alone and get a bowl a yard or so behind the jack. No, not there.
She didn't listen to you, David.
That's no good to her there at all. So a bit of weight here. If she gets it, she could come out of it with 2 or 3 shots. But she's off target, goes through, and the shot to Dorothy Yu will end the set. Puts a 10-3 up and with one end to play, she just can't be caught. So
Well, we're
having
into
lost the first set 14-1, she wins the second one 10-3, and we're into a tie-break, Jim.
And we've got the second set syndrome.
Yep.
Obviously going to toss to see who either bowls first or gives the mat away to the opponent.
A very knowledgeable bowls expert said to me the other day, the person who wins the second set always goes on to win the tie-break. Now, I know that isn't true, but it may be a general rule. The momentum is behind the person who wins the second set. But again, there's the chance that they might relax and let the other person back into the game.
And what a turnaround from the first set, when Dorothy, you could do nothing.
A game of two halves, we could call this. And now a three-end tie-break. Well, is that a good start?
It's an excellent start, particularly with the ball being behind the jack.
Oh, what a reply.
A brilliant response. This is more like it. This is what they were doing earlier on today and yesterday.
Disappointing, but that's not as bad a bowl as it seems, because she missed her line by a fraction and then was punished, and we've seen that happen so often in the forehand on this direction. Now Zurani suffered the same fate.
But it's also covered that bowl, David, if the jack was to spring.
That's true. Oh, what a lovely bowl. That is, collects the jack, takes it away from the shot of Malaysia, but Malaysia are still holding shot. That last bowl of Zurani finished in a very good place, didn't it?
She almost gave it away again.
Well, she was a bit fortunate there.
It's a very important bowl here.
Oh,
Very unlucky.
she could easily have come out of that with two shots, but the bowl she hit. Oh, was that a red?
No, Malaysia lie one.
Yeah, it was a blue lollipop held up by the marker. Very unlucky, Dorothy, you there. She seemed to be making shot, possibly even two. And this doesn't have the running, not quite. So Zurani will settle for one. She'll be very pleased to open the scoring on the tie break. But of course, another two ends to go and plenty of opportunities for both players to score shots.
Both players are favouring this three-quarter jack, David, and there hasn't been many attempts to have a short jack or a long jack.
Well, yes, that's true. I mean, I think that they're both battling for supremacy at this length, but they're both probably a little nervous about changing matters because they're in a tie-break after all.
Difficult to say who's lying there.
Yes, a tentative start to this second end of the tie-break. That's the shot.
It's much better.
Just 14 inches short of the jack. Well, could be in with a chance. We favour the front bowl for shot.
I would think so. The marker's having a look. Definitely now.
Yes, that certainly made a difference. Pushed it in for certain. And in fact, two shots.
Two. Certainly doesn't look like that from where sitting.
Well, Dorothy Yu doesn't want to drop a shot on this end. That would put her with everything to do on the third end. She certainly doesn't want to drop two shots.
That was unlucky.
Well, the rub of the green has got against her over the last couple of ends. The first tie-break end she was desperately unlucky not to make shot. And on this end too, she played a beautiful bowl there. And I don't think she's changed the matters at all. She's cut it to one.
Cut it to one.
Now the Malaysian has to be just a little careful here. She's playing the forehand. She's tempting to draw another one, but if she hits the jack, then the jack could well go to Dorothy Yu's bowl. Oh, very, very nicely done. She was aware of the danger. Fortunately, got the jack on the right side. The jack on the other side, she'd have been shot down.
And it's back to two. Two shots for the Malaysian.
But a great chance for Dorothy Yu here on the forehand, her favourite hand, to come up and rest those two shot bowls. If the jack moves, then Dorothy could come out of this with two, possibly even three shots. Forehand with a shade of weight. Not too much weight, of course, otherwise it won't bend. What has she got?
Nothing.
Too much weight, didn't bend, finishes through. It's two shots to Zuraini Khalid. A rueful nod from Dorothy Yu, concedes a double. And the Malaysian now leads 3-0 with one end to play in the tie-break. It's quite possible for Dorothy Yu to score a 3 on the next end, or even a 4 to win the title.
What would happen if she got a 3, David? It was 3 all.
That's a good point. If she scores 3, it's 3 all after 3 ends. they'd simply play another end, a sudden death,
Sudden death.
extra end.
Very difficult to pull back a 3.
Well, it has been done more than once. Full marks though to the Malaysian, Zuraini Khalid, who has shown consistency throughout. She went off a little bit in the second set,
And a beautiful start.
but has bounced back in the tie-break and has had the assistance of Lady Luck on a couple of occasions. Not outrageously so, but things have gone her way. So she deserves to be in the driving seat at the moment.
With a touch over the first ball, of course, the pressure is really on now.
And what looks like a wasted first bowl from Dorothy Yu rather decreases her chances. Ooh, shaved the jack in passing, and Dorothy's chances are lessening by the minute. But she does have 2 balls on the left-hand side of the rink, and that's what Zuraini Khalid has in mind here. This is a positional bowl. Well, that doesn't help her at all. Now the chances are still there for Dorothy. If she can pick the jack up and trail it a yard or so, she makes the 3 shots that she wants to tie. Can she pick it up?
Oh, shaved it again.
Yes, so close. But it's building up. All is not lost for the Hong Kong player.
I don't think the girl from Malaysia will be short this time, David. She'll be covering these back bowls.
Well, that's exactly what she tried to do last time, of course, but there was a Hong Kong bowl in the way. She knows exactly what's got to be done. The Malaysian, they're well schooled, not just in technique, but in tactics as well. This is what she wanted. One back there with the Hong Kong bowls. It may have gone a little too far. Well, that's interesting. That has given a lifeline to Dorothy. She's been trying to trail the jack the last twice. If she could pick it up, she could make 2, 3, even 4 shots.
Well, the Malaysian girl's walked off the green. She's disgusted with herself.
She's under again.
Missed it.
A brave effort. There's the right weight. Missed the line. The chance of the trail went. Is it 1? Is it 2 shots? It doesn't really matter to Malaysia. It's the Malaysian who wins the tie-break without actually conceding a shot. 5-0 will give her in the tie-break, and Dorothy Yu is no longer the Hong Kong International Classic singles champion. That mantle has moved to Malaysia in the form of Zuraini Khalid.
And a new champion, David.
On the day, a well-deserved champion. The girl from Malaysia showing themselves once more to be a power in the world of bowls. Relatively recently taking the sport up. Been playing for 20 odd years, that's all. And yet they're at their top of their game. They keep on producing youngsters coming through year after year, and Zuraini is one of them, one of the best, and fully deserves to be the Hong Kong Women's Classic Singles Champion.
Is it fair to say, David, in your opinion, was the final a bit disappointing?
Well, that often happens. In a way, yes, in terms of the the quality of play or the nearness they got to the jack on a consistent basis. But in terms of tension, in terms of effort, it was perfect. And we look forward now to the men's final.
Yeah, that's. I'd probably go and buy you a Chingdo now, should I?
I won't say no.
Oh, it's just sticky hot.
Yeah.
So the next one. We don't know anything about the Welsh chap. We don't know anything about the Welsh chap. Haven't seen him. He's probably gone back to the hotel.
dinner start at 7.但係你預咗單定聲有單嘅？你過咯，我講到嗰個咩？冇乜所謂，我知啊，冇所謂啫，冇人會睇，唔係呢啲頭家唔會有睇個片多㗎嘛。我會㗎，都係我打。你打係銀行喐啊嗰啲咧。你可能你企呢度都應該好嘅，其實你企個麥，你過嗰啲嘢，你過嗰啲。佢會踢你咯，有覺得。我就唔係佢如果俾人哋嘅，OK，唔係同埋可能你會唔會好講？
Well, here we are again, David, for the final of the men's pairs, and that's the old enemy, England versus Wales.
Well, where is Scotland, I wonder, and Ireland? Well, I'll give you the answer to that. The semi-finals earlier today were an all-UK affair. David Kingdon from Wales, the man in red in this final, beat Andy Kyle from Ireland, and David Bolt, unmistakably in the English top here at Craigengar Cricket Club. Who did he beat? He beat Scotland's Kevin Anderson. I call him Scotland's Kevin Anderson, but in fact he's living and playing bowls in Australia at the moment, but selected for this event by the Scottish selectors, and he's done them proud, Kevin Anderson, but he lost in the semi-final to David Bolt. Now, so we've got an all-UK final, England against Wales. This is David Kingdon, twice winner of the Welsh singles title in recent years. Made his international debut as long ago as 1990, but has come into his own recently. This is David Bolt, winner of the English singles and fours in recent years. So we've got two men here with a great pedigree, a great record, and both of them in form.
Being a native Welshman, as I know you are, and lives in England, where do your loyalties lie in this one, Dave?
Well, I was expecting you might ask me that, and the simple answer is I'm anybody's, you know.
There's no answer to that one.
Well, I wait to see who's going to win, and then that's the one I support. No, that's not fair, is it?
Rita Choi is the umpire here, the marker, sorry, and she's holding up two lollipops, and so it looks like a good start for Wales, David. Line 2 with one ball to come.
Yes, David Bolt picks the mat up, signalling the end of the end, and a great chance for David Kingdon from Wales to add. He fails to do so, and in fact it looks like only one shot now to Wales. Two shots to Wales, and David Kingdon will be celebrating that. It's a good, solid start for him in this final of the Hong Kong Classic International Singles Tournament.
These two guys are new to me, David, but obviously they're not new to you. You've seen them a bit in the past.
Oh, they're very well established in the UK. Both of them have won their respective national singles titles. They both played in the World Champion of Champions events, and you know, they're more than reliable performers. They're brilliant performers.
Was it a surprise to you to find that the semi-finals are made up of the Northern Hemisphere bowlers and nobody from Australia, for instance, New Zealand?
Well, in a way it was, Jim, because I don't think that's ever happened before, that these semi-finals have been an entirely UK affair. I'm surprised on two counts, because there are top Australian and New Zealand and South African bowlers here. What happened to them? Well, they fell by the wayside, obviously, in the knockouts. But also, I was surprised because the standard of local play here in Hong Kong has increased so much over the years that I would have half expected a local qualifier to have made his way through to the knockout stage, to the quarterfinals or semi-finals.
Certainly a surprise to me that there was nobody from Hong Kong reached the semi-final, none of the men. And yet we had the two girls playing in the semi-final, two Hong Kong girls. Dorothy, you won that one. But as we saw earlier, she lost the final to Malaysia.
Well, David Kingdom finding his way to the jack. He's found his touch very early on in this game. It's getting a little bit dangerous for David Bolt. He's on a good line this time. Can he stop in time? Can he? Oh, he may have edged in front. That's a great bowl from Bolty. Wonder Wales, though.
Yeah, it's difficult to see the head from where we're sitting. For those of you who know Craigengower Cricket Club, we are at the clubhouse end, the main bar end of the green, looking towards the football club end.
Well, that may count. We don't think it does, but it gives David Bolt an extra chance here. He can come off that last bowl. He's good. He's very well played here. Oh, what a brilliant bowl from David Bolt. His confidence raised when he saw David Kingdom's last bowl finish where it did. In he comes for shot. And in.
That was a superb last bowl.
Two ends played.
Yeah. Rita Choi, who is the marker, David, I was talking to her earlier on. She's been selected by World Bowls to go down to umpire in the World Champion of Champions later this month.
Yes, it starts on the 29th of November, and it's quite an event. It's as much an honour to be picked as an umpire or official as it is a player. It's really the event to be at. It only happens once every 4 years, so you don't get many opportunities.
Do you head down there after this?
I will be in Christchurch for that. Yes, I will. Yes, in between times, I'm going to Queensland to the Helensvale Club, where the World Bowls Authority are holding their Champion of Champions event. That's just next week. Good bowl there from David Kingdom coming in for shot.
So you're going to be well travelled this month.
Well, I'll be away from home for about 5 weeks and get home for Christmas, and then in January off to Potters in Norfolk for the World Indoor Championships.
I'll be watching that on television, David. I'll be listening for your voice if you're doing the commentary on that one.
Some very consistent bowling going on here. Good grouping. It's Wales holding one. David Bolt, his final delivery of the end. Hoping to pick the jack up. Not enough weight to pick it up, but enough weight to draw the shot. One shot to England, with one bowl to come.
A good effort.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Hong Kong. They tend to affiliate themselves to some of these overseas players. They take a liking to them, and they were 100% then with David Kingdom's bowl as he was coming down the green. They're disappointed to see it finish the wrong side of the jack. One shot to David Bolt, and after 3 ends of this Hong Kong Classic singles final, it's 2-all. The men, like the women, playing on a best of 2 sets basis. Every set, 9 ends.
Is this the normal team uniform that both these countries wear for international competition?
Yes, it is. Yes, in the UK they play the home internationals, huge event, 24 players per side, in June or July, and this is the gear they turn up in.
To me, it's a new uniform for Wales, but I haven't seen that one before. England, they've had that for a couple of years now, haven't they?
Yes. England have had that for 5 or 6 years, I should think.
Really, as long as that.
The Welsh does tend to change from time to time, but it's obviously basically red, and generally with a dragon on it somewhere.
That should get some of the hometown support then, with it being the dragon. I think the big difference really in this match already and the ladies' final is that both of them have found the green.
And the other difference, Jim, that I've noticed already is the speed of play. The bowl comes to rest, and the next player is on the mat ready to bowl. There is no wasting of time whatsoever.
Is that because they probably appear on television where the timing comes into it?
I don't know about that, because these two guys, although they're top players in the UK, they are not on the professional television circuit. But they're the sort who know what's to be done. They make their mind up quickly and they do it.
So basically they both have full-time jobs back in the UK?
Oh yes, absolutely. David Bolt, in fact, has his own bowls business. He's a bowls retailer, and he operates out of the South Shields Club near Sunderland, where he is a member. He plays indoors at the South Shields Club and runs a shop there. David Kingdon was telling me that his wife has got a very interesting job at the moment. She sells shoes online.
Oh.
She's a shoeaholic, she was explaining to me, Louise. And she started doing it as a hobby, and it's taken on. And she's got about 5,000 customers.
That's another change in the past couple of years, the players bringing their partners or spouses with them. It never used to happen before.
A great social occasion, the Classic, with or without the spouse being with you.
It's certainly a tough competition, the singles. I mean, there was 5 qualifying matches yesterday, 5 different rounds. One again this morning.
Well, in the old days, Jim, it used to be an all-male affair. Am I right?
It was up until 5 or 6 years ago. And Vincent Chung, the president, decided that when we amalgamated men and women bowls in Hong Kong, that he should have a classic for the women, and it's been very successful.
And quite right too. David Kingdon, 47 years of age.
I've just looked up the book, David, and it was 2008 when we first introduced the women to the Classic. And would you believe the Malaysian won the pairs at that time?
And I bet it was Siti Zelina Ahmed was in that pairing.
You're right, and the other girl was Noor Hashima Ismail. You remember her as well?
Shima, yes. Lena and Shima, as they were known. Slight problem here for David Kingdon. Although he's got bowls at the back, it's very difficult to get the jack to them. His opponent, of course, has no back position at all here, so he might as well reach it.
He's having a go.
He's reaching it all right. Oh! It would have been very interesting to see what would have happened if he'd made contact there. Whizzes by, into the ditch, and in that sense it's a wasted bowl. David Bolt holding 2, a good chance for him to add a third. But he's got to be careful, mustn't spring the jack.
Oh, he's coming in for the third.
Beautifully
Well
done.
bowled.
A touch of finesse there from David Bolt. 3 shots, and that really does make a difference. Suddenly, from being 2-all after 3, it's 5-2 after 4.
5-3. 5-3.
5-3.
Notice the scoreboard.
Yes. It's amazing how these top players find the weight almost from the start. They're bowling a very, very good length at the moment. Very good control from David Kingdon, beating David Bolt's opening delivery. David Bolt tells me he's got a lot of reasons to celebrate this weekend. Not only is he in the final of the Hong Kong singles, but his beloved Sunderland team have won their first game in the Premiership. That was yesterday.
I heard that earlier on. I mean, I don't know the scores from the UK as yet, but in fact, nobody knows who they beat.
If you ask David, he'll tell you. He really is a fan.
One of the things you'll have to ask him after the game now. Who did your team beat?
Oh, that's called coming in the back door. Fantastic line here. Can he pick the jack up? Oh, desperately unlucky. There was really not a hole to go through there.
Rita signalling 2.
Good position that,
And lying 3.
but a great chance for David Kingdon to turn 3 down into 3 up. He's going to have to have a look at this, and you can't blame him really.
But he's got the best back.
It's an important shot to be. He's got the 2 best back, so if he actually trails the jack, he makes 3 shots. And he's been very close to trailing it with his second and third deliveries. Both players finding a superb line. It's a bit of a straight hand, this, on the backhand. Jim, but they're both using it to good effect. Now, is he up? Has he got enough weight on this? Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
Well, he surprised me by playing the draw shot rather than the trail. But perfect weight, comes in for shot and keeps himself very much in touch. In the first set, after 6 ends, it's 3 shots to David Kingdom and 5 shots. I beg your pardon, it's 4 shots to David Kingdom and 5 shots to David Bolt.
This is the sort of game I was expecting the ladies' final to be. Very, very close, very, very tight.
Pretty to watch.
Beautiful start. I can see a heavy shot coming very soon.
Well, not yet. He's persevering. Is David Bolt at the draw, playing it very well. Oh, he's a bit unlucky there. Thought he was coming in for second at least, but he's just trickled out. It's still 2 shots to Wales.
Gives a bit of insurance.
Yes, that's a very good bowl indeed. Probably the best bowl on the rink. A little bit of weight this time from David Bolt, making sure he's reaching at least. Still 2 to Wales. It's a difficult choice here for David Kingdon. He could just reach the shot bowl, move the jack slightly and score 4 shots. A bit like this. Well, that would have opened it if he had done that. As it is, he's drawn a 3rd shot and things are looking very black for David Bolt at the moment. He's still not using force. He'll be reaching, but only just. Well, that's a very, very good bowl. A very good defensive delivery from David Bolt, coming in for second. 1 shot to Wales. David Kingdon draws level.
That was a big saving bowl, that one.
Yes, it was indeed. Made a very big difference to this first set, which is still evenly balanced. 5 all, 7 ends played, 2 to play.
Very difficult to predict the winner of this set. They're both playing wonderfully well.
David Kingdon has twice captained the Welsh indoor side.
What a lovely start.
David Bolt was England's most successful skip in last year's outdoor series.
Does he play indoor as well, David? Is he renowned as an indoor bowler?
Yes, both players are capped indoors and out for their respective countries.
Is that unusual nowadays, or
No, I wouldn't say so. There are players who prefer the outdoor game and concentrate on that and don't join an indoor club. Equally, there are players who prefer to play indoors and don't play outdoors. But most players play both. Look at that. That's not a beautiful way of getting shot. Resting the opponent's bowl, falling in. Let's go up and have a look at it, says David Bolt. You can't blame him for that. He's not wasting time. He's not slowing the game down at all. He's a very fast player. Maybe not quite as fast as Usain Bolt, but he's getting on that way. Didn't go all the way up. Halfway up. Quick look. He'll be putting in a back bowl here, I guess. Oh, I don't know. What's he got? This is dangerous.
oh, he's drawn another shot?
That's unbelievable. Now, I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, draw another, but that's what he's done.
I don't think so, because the nothing at the back. There's only the opposition's bowls at the back.
Yes, another foot of weight on that last bowl of David Bolton. He'd be shot down.
I don't think this one will be short.
Well, excellent bowl. The jack moved, the bowls moved, everything moved. There's nothing very close to the jack at the moment, but the closest one to the jack we think is a green one, a Welsh bowl.
It's certainly difficult from where we're sitting.
But there's only one bowl left in this end, and that belongs to David Bolt, and I would be very, very surprised if he's not able to draw the shot. Anything within a yard of the jack will do. It's all on the weight now. As long as he's up, he's got the shot. No problem. Oh,
We don't know.
it has stopped a bit short.
From where we're sitting, it could be 3.
That's unbelievable. 3 shots he got out of that. It certainly didn't look like that from where we were sitting, but there was no measure, no player argued with it. 3 shots there to David Bolt, and he has taken control at the best possible time on the penultimate end. He scores 3 shots and goes 8-5 up with just one end to play. David Bolt really has a story to tell, because after playing in the international series last year, he was admitted to hospital where he had serious kidney surgery, and he was in hospital for 2 months. It didn't go well. He's okay now. He's back to full fitness, and again, he said if he was a coach, he'd say, if you want to get to the final of the Hong Kong Classic, go into hospital and have a kidney operation.
Very good start by both players. But the Welsh chap needs 3 for a tie, even 4 for a win in the first set. Very difficult to see him getting it.
Well, all he's got to do, I think, to start with is to pile bowls into the head, and then see if he can do a little bit of shuffling with his final delivery. This is all he can do, get one in like that.
With a nice toucher.
I mean, 1 is no good to him, but there is a chance of getting rid of the blue bowl. David Bolt doesn't have to be afraid of it. He can bowl up to it too. That's a very, very good bowl. 2 seconds now for for England.
Excellent bowling.
No, that's not what he wanted. That doesn't help a lot. David Kingdon now working overtime, the man in red, thinking, how on earth do I get 3 shots out of this? Is it possible? David Bolt, on the other hand, he can be quite relaxed. He's 3 shots up in the game. He's only 1 shot down in the head. And his opponent has got an almost impossible task. So what does Bolty do? Does he block it, or does he put one round the back?
I would favour going round the back myself.
So would I.
But he hasn't.
Well, he
I
won't.
can see 3 shots here, David.
Can you? How's he going to get 3 out of this?
With playing the forehand,
Yeah.
his own ball, his own toucher, chapping the jack through.
Well, he's got to play it. It's got to be an exact reshuffle. And although the weight was good, the line was just too wide.
And that's the first set to England.
1 shot to Wales, but that's no good to Wales at that stage. The set, as you say, Jen, goes to England 8-6.
It's very difficult for you and I sitting here, David. We're in totally the wrong position. We don't have the benefit of a monitor to see the heads like you're seeing on television. But we're doing our best.
Well, it's just a pleasure to be sitting here on a
Absolutely.
nice sunny afternoon
Absolutely.
watching some of the best bowlers in the world in action in the Hong Kong International Classic men's singles final. They make it look so easy, don't they? I mean, David Bolt there gets on the mat, rolls the bowl away, and look at it, comes in on the jack.
Perfect start.
David Kingdon from a bowling family. His father Brian was a British indoor singles champion. Yes, they won't leave it alone, will they? Both of them are nibbling at that jack, nibbling at the head all the time. Not this time. You think he's missed his line here. It's a straight line down on that backhand, but if you just undergreen it, it won't have it. Oh yes, I think that was deliberate.
I would think so too. Cut the green again. Could be 2. Never know.
had nothing but a draw on for David Kingdom. He's just overweight with this. I think he's going to just run by. Very close, but not close enough. One shot to David Bolt. He won the first set 8-6. He's now 1-0 up in the second.
Are you aware of any of the two bowlers we're watching? Have any of them made their country's World Cup squad for later on this month in New Zealand?
Well, no, they haven't, and I think they're both rather disappointed about that. I know David Kingdom particularly is disappointed in not getting into the Welsh team after winning the Welsh singles twice in the last 4 years. He was delighted to get the invitation or be selected by the Welsh selectors to come here to Hong Kong, but he had his heart set on going to the World Bowls. I know. I think David Bolt is just outside the reckoning in England. He's well up there with them. He's as good as anybody else in the squad, but I don't think he had great expectations.
He's certainly playing very, very well here.
Absolute precision, accuracy with those opening two deliveries. It's only 18 inches short, but that's very disappointing for David Kingdom because he really has blocked himself on the forehand now.
And another shot down.
Well, I was expecting David Kingdom to use a little bit more force than this. He's reaching it, but only just. Ooh, he's got the shot. What do I know about it?
Shot.
That was an incredible shot, especially on that hand, which is slow to bend. It had to be perfect, and it was. So close.
A few ayahs there.
Yeah, that shows just how difficult that hand is. That looked perfect, but it just rode off, just didn't bend at the crucial moment. Now surely David Kingdom doesn't dare to try to draw another shot here. It's so dangerous. Well, it was some effort.
A fair attempt.
Takes the single and will be glad of it. He looked in trouble on that end, got out of it beautifully. It's one apiece. David Bolt was telling me that he took a couple of years out to get his mind sorted. He wasn't concentrating particularly on his game, and came back in 2011 and won the England singles. Again, he said that would be my advice if I was a life coach, to say if you're struggling, give it up for a while, come back. It worked for him.
And it's worked for him, as you say.
And now, of course, having had a serious operation, kidney surgery, less than a year ago, he's back at full fitness again.
As I say, both of them are new names to me. Certainly have never been in Hong Kong before. But they're obviously both excellent draw bowlers.
They're loving the rather straight hand on the backhand in this direction.
Surprisingly, because earlier on we were watching Dorothy Yu and she was sticking to the forehand, the big swinging forehand.
I think these players must have been watching her as well, because they could see that both players were being punished when they used the forehand if they were undergreened. The bowl was swinging away quite drastically. This is a more reliable hand, the backhand. You've got to have it right, as you see there. He was just overgreened, didn't bend.
Still only one.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a problem now. David Bolt dropping that bowl short. That's just the line that David Kingdon was hoping to take on the backhand. There is a line inside it, but he's going to come very, very close to that last bowl of David Bolt. He might decide to change his hand and go for the shot bowl. He can do that either hand, actually, Jim,
yes,
can't he?
Yes. On a bit of weight, and he's got the back bowls.
I think he's probably got 3 seconds. So if he takes the shot bowl out and stays, he's got 4 shots. Yeah, he reckons there's plenty of room inside, but he's undergreened it. Oh, he had. And he acknowledges that he was a bit fortunate there. He was undergreened out of the hand, but he got a good result.
He certainly got a bit of applause there from his opponent.
Yes, the game being played in the best of spirits. Lots of smiles going on between the players. They know each other very well. They respect each other's play. And it was noticeable that David Kingdon apologised for that little bit of luck, and that was appreciated by David Bolt. There we are. There's that forehand.
Swinging forehand we were talking
Yes.
about.
You've really got to be bold and give it the green on that hand. Otherwise, you get nothing at all.
So after 3 ends, 2-1 to Wales.
Fascinating struggle here between 2 top bowlers from the UK. David Kingdon from the Kidwelly town in Carmarthenshire.
I'm glad you pronounced that one. Didn't leave that one to me.
And David Bolt from the Silksworth Club up in Sunderland. Proud to be called a Geordie. Well
Lovely
corrected.
ball.
And another great try from David Bolt, just travelling a foot too far.
Both players are playing very well. It's a good final.
Looks good. Oh, unlucky again.
Very unlucky.
Problems now for David Kingdon. If he leaves it as it is, we can expect David Bolt to be very close to trailing the jack for 3 shots. Playing the shot for him. Well, that's what he had in mind. Hasn't really made it any easier. It might even be 2 shots now. 1 and a measure.
1 and a measure.
So he's been so close twice to either trailing the jack or resting the bowl, and he's very close again. Oh! Did you see that? He was just holding off, resisting the bias. One conceded, and David Bolt wants a measure, and who can blame him? A single would level the scores at 2-all, and that's all it is. It's blue bowl is the next in the head, so it's 2 apiece after 4 ends of this fascinating second set. Who would pick a winner?
Oh, decided a change of mat length.
Yes, tactics coming into it now. David Kingdon taking the mat 3 or 4 meters up the rink, which will change the lines slightly. Who will be the first to adjust? David Kingdon, a member of the Sonetti Indoor Club for many years, but has just transferred his allegiance to Swansea.
Oh, an excellent start.
12 miles down the road. Yes, good line, 15 inches short, but a good start.
An excellent response.
Yes, they really both have mastered the backhand in this direction. The attempt now on the forehand. This is the swinging hand. If he's missing it, he's going under. Now watch it go.
It's been like that all day, hasn't it?
Rita Choi marking, one of the most popular officials here in Hong Kong. She's given David Kingdon guidance as to how far away the shot is from the jack. Oh, that was a great try.
Again, it's at the finish on the bowl.
Well, that's the shot, you know.
Well, from where sitting, it's
movement on the blue bowl. Has it pushed it far enough to make it shot? Yes, it has.
yes.
Well, a great chance here for David Kingdon. He's shot down, but he's got second, third, and probably fourth bowls in the head. If he can push the blue bowl through and stay, he makes 3 or 4 of it. And David Bolt will only have 1 bowl left to save the day. He's going for it. He's seen his chance. Oh,
Another bad luck. That happened in the first set as well.
he thought he'd got that. Dipped his head in the end in disappointment. He's pushed it into the open, and he's given David Bolt a chance of making 2 shots. A gilt-edged chance, really. He should do this. Sticking to the backhand. Oh, he's on the front bowl.
Luckily, it made no difference.
Yeah. Well, David Bolt will be the more disappointed of the two now. He should have made 2 shots of that, but takes the one and edges in front.
3-2 after 5.
Well, the scoreboard says 3-2 to Wales, but we think that it's 3-2 to England. There's some very good balls being played here. Yes, precision stuff from both players. And they're both playing a patient game. They're hardly ever playing with weight. And perhaps that's why the first bowl he's played with weight there, David Bolt, he's offline and he goes through.
Bit insurance coming in here.
Yes, that's quite deliberate. Now have a go at it, says David Kingdon. I've got been waiting. So this is not a firing shot, this is just a draw. Making sure he reaches, but achieves nothing.
It's a tricky hand, that one. Trying for number 3.
Just overplayed it. Just an ounce too heavy. 2 it is to Wales. And we are assured that the scoreboard has it correct and that we were making a mistake there. It's 5-2 to Wales. And that's after 6 ends of this second set. It's a set that David Kingdon of Wales has to win in order to keep his hopes alive of winning this Hong Kong International Classic men's singles title.
And he's taken the mat up a bit again.
Well, it's worked for him well so far, his tactical moves.
A lovely start.
And that's a great start. Now, a lot of people would look at that and say, well, he's not that close to the jack, but he's in the line on the backhand. And look what it's done to David Bolt. He's made him go look for an even tighter line, and it's not there. It's like rolling him down a chute, isn't it? Finds that line every time.
Yeah.
Now a bit more weight, perhaps using those two as a split. He's inside, he's gone through,
Missed it again.
and he's used enough weight to get to the ditch as he's stopped the green, which could yet prove useful. It's not a wasted bowl, that, from David Bolt.
I think we'll see one.
You're thinking he might play weight at this, Jim?
I think so.
Yes, here he goes. Bags of it. Oh,
What a wonderful shot.
you've got to applaud that, because he was on target all the way, but what a result he got. The jack went over to his previous bowl, and he's now holding 3 shots. 3 shots to David Kingdon became 3 shots to David Bolt at a stroke. And now, wherever David Kingdon puts this, let's say he draws the shot, it could be taken out for 4. He's got to get past that front bowl. Is he wrecked? He's past it. That is a brilliant delivery, whatever it's done. I think he's probably got second.
Yeah, Rita's signalling 1.
1 to David Bolt. And will David Bolt take a chance here? No, he won't. He's going for the backhand draw. He's got to get past his own short bowl, and he can't do it. Can't even push it up far enough. It's 1 shot to David Bolt. After all that, a very fascinating end, that. All sorts of things happening. 1 shot to England. And I think at the end of the day, David Kingdon will settle for that.
I would think so at 5-3. 5-3, 2 ends left. You feel a tie break coming on, David?
Well, I think we would all like a tie break, wouldn't we? Because
I think the crowd would,
yes. Not because of any affiliation to one person or another, but because the final of the Hong Kong International Classic Men's Singles deserves a tie break. It deserves to go down to the wire. And both these players have played so well that it would be very fitting if it went down to sudden death. Well, at this length, he's swinging a bit more. This is good. Shade of weight behind this, that's why it's not bending, but finishing well. Oh dear, that's not quite what he wanted.
Not what he wanted.
He preferred it more as it was. But David Bolt in a very comfortable position at the moment. Even though he's 2 shots down in the set, He needs a single on this end and a single on the next end to tie the set, and that would be enough. He's always got the advantage in this set because all he needs to do is to tie it. David Kingdon has to win it. Kingdon shown his arm there. He's gone for force.
What do you think the tactic was there? Did they shift the blue ball?
Well, yes, to take the blue ball out. He's got 1 or 2 seconds. Oh, now who's got the shot now?
From where I'm sitting, it looks like 1-2 Wales. Rita's saying it's a measure.
She favours the green bowl with the red disc on it. That's the Welsh bowl. She got a slight favour for that, but she says it's really a measure. And so you can't blame both players for coming down to have a look at it now. I mean, David Bolt has used all his ammunition anyway, so he hasn't got anything left. David Kingdon, can he convert this? Does he need to convert it? If he's holding a single, he'll take it. If he thinks he's shot down...
He's having a good look.
Yes. Well, this is vital. If he's holding shot, leave it alone. Go into the last end, 3 shots up. But if you're shot down, it must be tempting to move the jack and score possibly 2 shots.
He's having a good look at the scoreboard on the way up. Still very undecided.
Yes, yeah, you feel for him really, because he'd love to know who shot. And at the moment it's only an opinion, and you can't put a measure on it until the last bowl has stopped. A lot of opinions there on the bank. They don't know who shot either. What would they do in his position? That's what's so fascinating about this game of bowls. You've got time to think and weigh up the pros and cons. In the end, it's a 4-hand draw. He's played this 4-hand so well in the match. Perfect line. On the careful side, he finishes a yard short. So, it's all on that measure.
It's all on Rita's calling on the umpire. First time we've seen the calipers measure used today, David.
Yes, indeed, and it's Keith Jones from Llanbradach in South Wales who's wielding the measure, but you can be sure that he has no affinity towards David Kingdon at all. They come from the same country, but he's a completely impartial
That's another
official.
word. Another word I'm glad you pronounced and could leave it to me.
Llanbradach. Wales came out of that with shots, so David Kingdon was well advised to be a little bit short, a little bit careful with that last bowl of his. He scores a single which puts him 6-3 up now with 1 end to play in this second set, and it looks odds on a tie break now. David Kingdon in the happy position of being able to drop 2 shots on this end and still win the set. David Bolt needing to score 3 shots to tie the set and win the match and the championship.
He's certainly made full use of the change of mat length, hasn't he? He's been very consistent.
Well, yes, they've been so well matched. It's not so much that David Kingdon has thrown David Bolt off, but he's employed some very subtle variations of tactics.
This looks a very good ball.
Well, you won't really mind whether he's got shot or not.
It's perfect for what he wants.
Another well delivered bowl here from David Bolt. Pushes the green bowl closer. Green still not holding shot.
I think one round the back's called for. Well, 2 balls very close there.
Well, 5 really good bowls delivered so far. Full marks to both players for that. But Mr. Bolt, try and get 3 out of this.
Yeah, 1 is no good. There's a pound of weight coming in here.
Trying to rearrange the furniture, he's missed it totally. He goes through into the ditch, and I think that's probably his chance gone.
I would think so.
Not totally, he's got another bowl, but somehow he's got to be able to make 3 shots out of it with the next bowl, and it doesn't look on to me. He needed to operate with that 3rd delivery if at all possible. Now what does David Kingdon do? 1 round the back?
1 round the back.
Yes, that's always the easy answer, and probably the best answer in most cases. Oh no, it's
But we're wrong again.
putting up a blocker. It's a good blocker. It's a very good blocker.
He's smiling his face.
It even fell onto its back to make the track in on the backhand even more impossible. Weight on the forehand, hit and hope. He can take 2 of the green bowls out, but can he move all 3 of them?
Very, very unlucky.
He couldn't have come closer, could he? Worked in there for 2 shots, but 2 shots is not enough for David Bolt. It just brings him to within 1 shot of his opponent, David Kingdon, in this second set. It's Kingdon who wins the set, 6-5, and we're into that
Another tie
break.
break. Seems to be the feature of today's play, tie breaks. The toss of the coin again, and Wales have elected to keep the jack, because he's been playing well in this with the mat further up the green.
I wonder if he won the toss and elected to
I think
do
he
that.
did. I think he
Yes,
did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because that's unusual, because if you win the toss in a tie-break situation, you generally give the jack away so that you have the last bowl on that first end. So here we are in territory that the players loathe. It's tie-break torture. Well, very good. David Kingdon thought he was a little bit too wide with that, and he was a fraction. He was calling it back. He's finished in a good shot position. What's David Bolt got? He's close. Oh!
Just ran through.
Touched the shot bowl in passing. If he'd rested it, he'd have been perfect. That's another shot.
Another shot.
And perhaps we should explain that in tie breaks in this competition, all shots count. It's not just ends, but every shot scored counts on the tie-break. That means, of course, you can have a tied tie-break, in which case you go to a one sudden death extra end.
He's drawn another shot, I think, David.
Oh, he's
Beautiful
playing so
bowling.
beautifully, isn't he? He's pleased now he took the jack on this end. It's worked for him. He's holding 3 shots. And, well, what can David Bolt do about it? He can hit it. If he draws, he'll do... Oh, he is
to
drawing.
draw.
It's a bold shot. A bolt shot, in fact. What a brilliant delivery. I think he's got second bowl out of it, has he? He's waiting for it to fall. If it fell in, it would be shot. It won't fall, though. It's pretty solid.
Rita's calling for another measure.
Is it measure for shot or measure for second? Any bowl which is in danger of falling should be propped up. The chocks being put there.
It's another caliper measure.
And it's noticeable that 2 Welsh bowls have been left in there. So it could be 1 to England, it could be 1 to Wales, it could even be 2 to Wales. Time will tell. It looks like 1 to Wales. I think that's what they said.
Can't see it.
Yes, 1 it is. Rita Choi shows us quite clearly it was 1 to Wales, and what a brilliant last delivery that was from David Bolt. He was 3 down and staring defeat in the face, really. You don't want to drop 3 shots on the first end of the tiebreak. And it looked almost impossible to draw it. 3 bowls within, 4 inches of the jack? And he had the bravery, the courage to attempt that dead draw. Almost got the shot out of it.
It's certainly been a successful tactic, taking the mat up the green.
Yes, David Kingdon continuing with that tactic. The mat just 3 or 4 metres up. But
Playing that backhand perfectly.
an old pairs partner of mine used to have a saying, shelling peas. And that's what it's like for David Kingdon and for David Bolt, to be fair, on the backhand in this direction. They're finding that line every time. Look at this. Not quite there, but
That's still the shot.
so just about nose in front.
Oh, that's the second one.
Yes, and it's achieved a very good result. That second bowl of David Kingdon was really rather unfortunate. And out of character too. He hasn't dropped very many short bowls in this
That's
match
true.
so far.
Well, he's cut it down.
Well, it's a funny sort of head, this, and they haven't had
It's
many
not-
loose
it's not
ends.
been the best, has it?
You can't call it a loose end, really, because there's some good bowls up there, but they're not that close to the jack. Is that another
I
shot?
think it's 2 to England.
Yes, it's 2. Well, if I was David Kingdon, I think I'd go up and have a look at this, because there are all kinds of possibilities down there.
He's listening to you.
It's not a packed head, but it's a difficult head. And at the same time, it's a head that does offer opportunities. He can come up the backhand here with a bit of weight, hit his centre green bowl, and that could do a lot of damage. He certainly doesn't want to draw on the forehand. They've hardly used the forehand at all.
Yeah.
Important delivery, this.
And I don't think he'll be short. He's playing the forehand.
Why? I wouldn't do this. But then, I'm not out there. And that's a good reason. David Kingdon is the man. And what's he done? I don't think he's drawn the shot. He's come pretty close to doing so. He was bold enough to give it the green then, because we know that if you're narrow on the forehand, you're punished for it. But in fact, he gave it just a shade too much.
What do you think? You think England's line 2? Very difficult from where we're sitting.
Well, Rita Choi hasn't committed
She's not
herself on
signaling,
it since that last bowl came up. Well, that doesn't affect the issue
No,
one way or
no.
another.
It was that big swing.
I think it's 1 to England. It may be 2. Yes, David Kingdon's
That's one
conceded
away.
1 shot. He's reluctant to concede the second. David Bolt's just waiting patiently. And I think David must have said it's 2. Yes, it's 2 shots to England. That last bowl of David Kingdon just failing to cut down the count. It's a brave effort, but David Bolt takes a 2-1 lead into what
Could be the last end.
could be the last end. The third end of the tiebreak. David Bolt wants to score 1, or could even, well, no, dropping would be no good, because he would have to go into another end.
Looks a very good start.
Yes, the tried and trusted forehand in this direction. He's only about a foot short, and he's in the draw. In the eye, anyway. There's just room round it. Or inside it. Has he got the shot with that? Very, very
Difficult
close.
to say.
Well, that's good.
Well, that makes it difficult.
But we think he was shot before, and he's moved the jack, so he's only 1 now. So it's not a lot of difference. Oh, backhand. Now, we've not seen a lot of balls played on this backhand, Jim.
Interesting.
Yes, David Kingdon would have liked a bit more movement than that. He's moved things about, but it's still in David Bolt's favour. Bolt holds the shot. And it's not easy to change things here. That's third bowl. British Isles
Another
singles
wicked shot.
champion in 2014. David Kingdon, he's got it. Can he? And he's stop in time. He's got the shot. Yes, he has. Well, the rub of the green did go against David Kingdon on a couple of occasions, but that time it was in his favour. He was on target. You have to applaud him for being on target. He got the first thing right, and he got a good result. And the finalists sharing a joke yet again, showing that this game is being played in the very best of spirits, Jim.
Dare I say it, there's a big bowl here. 2-1 up. 2-1 up and 1 down on the end.
Yes, he's got to get in here to set up a match lie. And if he misses, he gives David Kingdon a chance of winning the game by making 2 shots.
Oh, you can't argue with that.
Oh, you can't indeed. That was perfection. Broad smiles from both players there, and David Kingdon fully appreciated the skill that David Bolt showed to get that in, but David Kingdon has a chance of winning the Hong Kong International Classic men's singles title if he can remove that bowl of David Bolt and stay in its place. He'll score 2 shots, and that will win him the tiebreak and win him the title. All on this bowl.
All on the last bowl.
You said the last one was a big one, Jim. What about this one? This one's
This is
huge.
huge. Because I say, in addition to the prize money, it's the invitation back next year.
Well, I'd settle for the pride of calling myself the Hong Kong Classic
Champion.
singles champion.
But he's not short.
Well, what a final we've had here at the Craigengower Cricket Club. 2 of the finest bowlers around, David Kingdon and David Bolt, but on this occasion it was David Bolt from England who came out on top, and who can begrudge him that, winning the title with a beautifully drawn dead length toucher. You can't do better than that in bowls. It's like a hole in
A
one.
hole
in
in one,
golf.
yeah.
And David Bolt, a worthy winner of this Hong Kong International Classic men's singles title. But spare a thought for David Kingdon, a worthy runner-up.
We're just waiting here for the presentation. I don't know, David, if we're covering it or not.
You cover it? Yeah.
I think that I don't think we're covering the presentation, David. So it's the same time next week, the same venue for the pairs, I would say. So thank you very much, and
look
we'll
forward to
catch
it.
up with you and probably see you for a curry at the IRC tomorrow.
Okay.
Well done.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Cheers, David. Can you come down? If I don't see you
I'll see
tomorrow
you
afternoon,
Yeah, lovely job.
about 5 o'clock time.
Lovely.
Yeah.
for watching the final of the singles final of the Hong Kong International Bowls Classic 2016. May I have all the players together around the invasion area? Ladies and gentlemen, this is time for us to close the singles event for the Hong Kong International Postcards 2016. First of all, I would like to thank all the clubs who provide the venue for us. Peking Tower Cricket Club, Hong Kong Football Club and Indian Recreation Club. Thanks for the generous to provide us the green to hold the event. Now may I introduce all the VIPs to the green. First of all, may I have National Manager, Sports Funding of Leisure and Cultural Service Department, Mr. Kelvin Chen. Honorary Deputy Secretary General of the Sports Federation and Olympic Committee of Hong Kong, China, Professor Leung Mi Li. President of Peking Tower Cricket Club, Mr. Chin Pat Heng. Chairman of Hong Kong Football Club, Longbow Session, Mr. Johnny Zhang. Vice President of Indian Recreation Club, Mr. J.S. Dillon. Our sponsor, Mr. Yip Sui Ying, President of the Zhong Kong Multi-Bowls Club and President of the Hong Kong Lawn Bowls Association, Mr. Vincent Zhang. First of all, we would like to have our sponsor to present the prize money to the quarterfinalists, both men and women. May I have Mr. Yip Sui Ying? Finalists for the women's quarterfinalists from Hong Kong Football Club, Camilla Leung. They have the prize money, but sorry, no medal. Quarterfinalists from Australia, Don Heyman. Quarterfinalists from Seabird Sports Club, Queenie Lai. Quarterfinalists from China, Yu Xiaoyan. For the men's quarterfinalists from Philippines, Christopher Deppen. Quarterfinalists from Australia, Leighton Patterson. Quarterfinalists from South Africa, Prince Nilondi. Quarterfinalists from Quakengawa Cricket Club, Lui Chien Hong. So he's not here. So let's move on for the semi-finalists. May I invite Mr. J.S. Dillon, Vice President of the Indian Recreation Club, to present the trophy for us, and Mr. Yip Shui Ying to present the prize money. Women's semi-finalists from Philippines, Rosita Berbrand. Semi-finalists from Club de Recreo, Angela Chow. Okay, thank you, Mr. Dillon. May I invite Mr. Johnny Chung, Chairman of the Hong Kong Football Club Lawn Bowls Session, to present the trophy for the men's semi-finalists. And Mr. Yip Shui Ying to present the prize money. Men's semi-finalists from Ireland, Andrew Kiley. Congratulations, semi-finalists from Scotland, Kevin Anderson. Congratulations and thank you, Mr. Chung. May I have Mr. Chin Pat Heng, President of the Kraken Gower Cricket Club, to present the trophy for the men's and women's runners-up. And Mr. Yip will present the prize money. For the women's runners-up from Hong Kong Lawn Bowls Association, Dorothy Yu. Congratulations for the men's runners-up from Wales, David Wynne Kingdon. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Chin. May I invite Professor Leung Mei Yi, Honorary Deputy Secretary General of SFNOC, to present the Women's Champion. And Mr. Yip to present the prize money. The Women's Singles Champion from Malaysia, Suryani Khalid. Congratulations and thank you, Professor Leung. May I invite Mr. Kelvin Chen, National Manager, Sports and Funding of LCSD, to present the trophy for the men's champion. And Mr. Yip to present the prize money. The champion for the men's single from England, David Bolt. Congratulations and thank you, Mr. Chen. And now, as a tradition, you can't go now. Come on. You need to say a few words. You know that, right? You prepare for that, right? Okay. Let's invite the men's champion of the men's singles. From England, we got David Bolt to say a few words.
What a couple of days. I'd just like to thank, obviously, the sponsors who arranged the tournament, the competition organisers, everybody who I've played. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a great 2 days, and first time in Hong Kong. I absolutely love it here, so I hope to come back here soon. Thank my teammates over there who've supported me all the way through, and look forward to the pairs tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, David. And may I invite from Malaysia, Suwan Correct, to say a few words?
Okay, first thing, thank you very much for my teammate for the support me and to all. And good luck for the pairs tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. May I invite all the winners, quarterfinalists, semi-finalists, and runners-up to come up to have a group photo? Come on, come on. Thanks all our guests and congratulations to all the winners. We look forward to the pairs starting from tomorrow. So all of you, see you next week. Thank you.